welcome to Awesome Financials Podcast. My name is Austin.
Susie.
And today we're answering the question, what's the easiest way to get $100,000 for your business? $100,000 loan at 0% interest for over a year. Is that possible?
Absolutely. Let's talk about it.
All right. How would you do it?
So first things first, you have to have an LLC.
Okay.
That's like a requirement.
All right.
So either you already have one or we're creating one from scratch.
Okay. All right. So you have to have an LLC. So let's say my LLC is Austin's Food Truck. Does that work?
So yeah, there's a such thing as high risk businesses.
Okay.
So when we open up an LLC, we want to open it in such a way where it's deemed low risk or just neutral. So we recommend names such as Austin Enterprise LLC,
Okay.
Austin Solutions, something that doesn't pinpoint to any specific industry, because high risk industries such as real estate, food, trucking, they don't get as much money from the banks because they're considered high risk. So we want to go as neutral as possible. So yes, the name does matter, guys.
Okay, so I should open up an LLC, but try to keep it vague so it stays versatile and I don't disqualify myself early in the process.
Exactly.
Okay, all right. So I got my LLC. What's next? How do I get 100K? What's the next thing I need to do?
So the LLC needs its own social security number. Essentially, it's called the EIN or the tax ID number.
Gotcha.
Okay. That's the number that you're going to use to open up a bank account. That's the number you're going to use to apply for business credit cards or anything that you do under the business. That number is essential. If you don't have that, we got to get that.
Okay, LLC, EIN, that's free. You can get that from the website. If you don't know how to do that, we have a video on that. All right, what's next?
So now we got to establish some sort of online presence for your LLC, because a lot of times banks are going to want to Google your business name.
Yep.
And you want to come up on some sort of Google search, right?
Yeah.
So the easiest way to come up without paying for like SEO or like someone to like put your business at the top of the Google page, which can be pretty expensive, is to register your business with 411. So essentially 411 is like online directory. You know how like back in the day you had like a phone book and stuff?
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Yellow
there's
pages, boy.
Yeah. So there's such a thing as online like yellow book.
Nice.
So it's free. You list your business.
Yellow pages, by the way.
Yellow pages.
There you
What did I say?
Yellow book.
Oh,
Oh,
Lord.
you good.
So
Yellow pages.
you list your business on yellow pages.
There you go.
And then once the bank Googles your name, as far as the business name, or you Google yourself, you'll literally come up because you're like on the online database.
Nice. All right. So after I'm registered, I'll probably need like probably goes without saying, we don't got to spend any time on it, but I'll probably need like a professional business phone number and like a business address.
Yeah.
Like a virtual business address, probably.
Yeah. So you don't want to use your home address. It's not safe. This is all public info. So if anything happens, somebody's mad at you, they can literally Google you or your business and your home address will pop up. Now they have access to you, your children, your wife. I wouldn't suggest that. Number two, it's not professional, especially if we're going to the banks to get 100K. We don't want to have a house. So there's a thing called business virtual addresses. We'll link them below, and essentially they'll rent out space for you so that you can use that rental space as your business address. If you get mailed to that place, you could just forward it to your home. So essentially you're not missing a beat if you get mail and stuff.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So I got my LLC, EIN. We're established. We look good. We're professional. Are we ready to go to the bank? Because I need 100,000.
Yeah, no,
No, I'm not ready to go to the bank.
you're not.
Okay. Then what's the next step?
We got to open up a bank account.
So I got to go to the bank.
But
I'm not ready to ask money from the bank.
Yes.
But the next step is go to the bank.
Yeah. So we're
Okay.
going to the bank to open up a bank account,
Okay.
and we're adding some money to that bank account.
Nice.
Okay.
What's the point of that?
The point is we got to form a relationship with this bank. And the
Okay.
easiest way to do that is if we bring them some cash and
Okay.
open it, leave it active for a good 30 days before we double back and apply. A good rule of thumb is to add a minimum of $5,000 because banks use a thing called bank rating system. And so they'll categorize you in like a level depending on how much money you have sitting in the account. So the more money you have sitting in the account, the higher ranking you are, and they're more willing to give you lending options.
Makes sense.
So
Banks want to give
5K.
money to people that look like they don't need it.
Exactly. So you go open your account, put 5K, or put 500, and then periodically add more until you hit that 5K. Obviously 5K is like minimum, right?
Okay.
You want to have 10, 15, 20 if you have access to that money.
Nice. Okay.
So we let it sit there for 30 days minimum, just to kind of let it season, form that relationship, and then we would double back.
Okay. All right. So I got my LLC all set up. It's low risk. I opened up a bank account. It's ready to go. So now, am I good to go? Like my LLC is good enough to apply by itself, right? Or like I don't even know what I'm applying for yet, but we're going to get there, I guess, right? Because I need this 100,000, 0% interest for over a year. So what's the next step in this play to get 100,000 for your business?
We need good credit.
Okay.
So, good rule of thumb, you want to have a 700 plus
credit score. Okay.
700 is honestly like bare minimum. Usually,
if you want maximum funding, I'm guessing.
If you want to get approved, period.
All right.
Yeah, like anything below 700. Like I know you'll probably hear a lot, like, oh, you have a 680, you have a 680. That's not cutting it anymore. Like, let's just be realistic and let's be real and give it to you how it is. So 720 and above is kind of like what you want to shoot at.
Yeah.
And that goes without saying that, hey, you shouldn't have collections, late payments, charge-offs. I mean, you should not be needing credit repair. Okay. And then another thing you want to keep in mind is your inquiries. Banks are super, super sensitive to inquiries. So if you have more than 3 in the last 6 months, I would not go and apply just yet. So, I would delete them.
Yeah.
If you can, because sometimes you cannot, right? Because they're legitimate.
Yep.
Or I would wait it out until I don't have more than 3 in 6 months. That's the key golden rule. No more than 3 in 6 months.
Okay. So in this process, right, setting up my LLC, establishing my business bank account, my presence online, and then fixing my credit, it's probably not a good idea to apply for credit cards or get that Kohl's card to save $15 or go car shopping and get a bunch of inquiries before heading over to Mr. Chase.
Yeah. So while you're doing this whole like process of trying to acquire business funding, I wouldn't touch my personal credit. I would be in the green garden stage is what you call them. Green garden stage is when you just sit out. You're green. You're just sitting out. Because A, you don't want to rack up any more hard inquiries. A, you don't want to lower your credit age by adding 2 or 3 more personal credit cards right before we go for funding. All that stuff lowers your credit score. The lower your credit score, the less chances you have of getting approved for high limits. And it doesn't look good to the banks. Meaning, if I walk to Chase and I've recently applied to 3 personal credit cards in the last month, they're going to be like, this person is extremely, for lack of better terms, thirsty for cash.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to give them any more. Why are they so thirsty? What's going on? Let me investigate a little bit more. As opposed to someone who has been in the green stage sitting out.
Yeah.
They haven't had a new open account in the last year. Their minimal inquiries are, I'm talking about 0 inquiries, maybe 1 or 2 the last year. Those people look more credible to the bank.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense. All right. So staying away from any products before we go in. And so I'm guessing that's pretty much it, right? I'm ready. Am I ready to ask?
So you've checked up all these boxes.
Yeah.
You've done everything we've said in this video. Like, you're like, I'm ready. Then we can go apply.
Okay. But what are we applying for?
Yeah. So we're applying to get 100K. That's the goal.
Yeah.
Right.
I wanted at 0% interest for over a year.
Yeah. So we got Chase at 0% for 75,000. And then we have Truist at 0% for 25,000.
Are these small business loans or like what is this?
No, these are 0% business credit cards. So essentially you're personally guaranteeing them. That's why we talked about having good credit.
Makes sense.
So that way you personally are guaranteeing these cards because you have good credit.
Yeah.
You get 100K, but it's all under your LLC. That's why we created an LLC from the beginning, and they'll never report your personal credit. So now we're at 100K at 0%, following this exact strategy. So from top to bottom, opening your LLC to applying could take you maybe 60, 90 days.
Okay.
From opening bank account, seasoning money, applying, I would say within 90 days, you should be good to go at 100K.
Man. Okay. There you have it. That's how you get $100,000 at 0% interest for your business for 12 to 18 months. Some might call this a no-doc loan. This strategy can be seen as credit card stacking, right? And the beautiful part is you open all these cards around the same time. There's 0% interest, and the interest ends around the same time.
Yep.
And then on top of that, if once the term starts to close, you can just transfer that balance to another card, and you continue to have 0% interest.
Yep.
And so you're kind of like you're funding yourself. You made your own loan. That's a hack.
But you do have to have relationships to get those high limits.
For sure. I imagine.
Like, yes, you can follow this to the T.
I mean, this is pretty vague. This wasn't really in depth. Yeah.
And apply online. You're probably not going to get 75,000. Those high limits.
So if I did all this and applied online,
you might get 15, 20K tops from Chase.
Okay. So it sounds like there needs to be some type of guidance or hand holding.
You need to be introduced to the people at the banks that can make things happen.
Gotcha.
So if you don't have access to those people, that's okay. You just need to know somebody that knows somebody like us to introduce you to those people.
Lucky you. You have us. Look at that. No, seriously. This is what we do. We love it. If you go to wholesomefinancials.com, we talk about it all the time. If you're on our channel, you look at all these other videos. We help business owners secure exactly what we're talking about, $100,000 for their business, 0% interest for over a year. And we walk you through this, but there's so much more. How you fill out the application, like you mentioned, introducing you to those insider banking relationships. We didn't get a chance to talk about your NAICS code for your LLC. There's so many different nuances that if you check all these boxes and you do it right, we can almost guarantee you over $100,000 in funding for your business. And so if that's what you're looking for and you need that and you're interested, click the link below. Go to wholesomefinancials.com or click the link below to apply to work with us. And we're excited to if you're a fit, I promise you we'll be able to get you that funding. So I'm super excited about that. But thanks for answering that question. Hopefully that helps some of you guys real quick. We didn't want to make this long because it's that simple. It's not as easy as baking cookies. FTC don't come from me, but it is, with the right guidance, it 110% can be done. So we appreciate you guys. Thanks for tuning in this video. We'll see you in the next one.